answer these questions. I got a couple questions on my Instagram. Hi, good morning. Welcome to the vlog. Welcome to another episode. My name is Anessa. I'm so happy that y'all are here. I love y'all. Let's get into it because we are ending up this series of love, self-love, how to love others, how to love the life you live. And today we're touching on a couple things. Usually I script before my episodes, but I did not decide to script today. I was just like, okay, ask me questions on Instagram that you want to know about love. I already had something I wanted to do, and there's something else I thought about this morning. So we're going to do all three of those things in this video, and I think y'all will love it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Also, it is bleak outside. Like when I say I usually film with the sunlight because it makes me happy, but I did my dopamine routine this morning. I had my cold shower, so I feel absolutely amazing. And the bleakness, it's kind of giving color grading. Have y'all ever, okay, let me not go on a rant, but Premiere Pro, I have not learned how to use it yet, but this is giving Premiere Pro color grading, and I mess with it. She's cute. Okay, let's get into what we're talking about today. The first one is learning how to love yourself in spite of certain habits that leads to self-hate. Ooh, I feel like I touched this on my other videos. So learning how to forgive yourself is a big key, but we learn to forgive ourselves for the past. And so if you're doing these things today that cause you to hate yourself, I would say what might help is sitting down and making a list of things you love about yourself, but also write a list about things you hate about yourself. And go into detail with each one and why you hate it, because essentially we want to get to the roots of the problem, find what's actually going on, why you are hating yourself and why these habits keep coming up. A lot of the time we end up in the same habits again and again that we end up hating because we are self-sabotaging. And we self-sabotage because there's something behind that we're supposed to know about. There's something that we're supposed to, a lesson we're supposed to pick up. There's something that we're hiding from. There's an excuse that we're trying to like psychologically manipulate our way around, but we can't, because at the end of the day, our body knows the truth and our body will put us through those same patterns. And so you're most likely self-sabotaging. So I would say actually sitting down and getting to the root. So asking yourself, when you find something that you hate or you find a situation that you keep getting yourself in, ask, what is this trying to teach me? Or ask, why am I feeling this way? Like, why do I keep doing these things? And eventually it's all about self-discovery, because these answers are within us. So eventually, as you keep going on, why, you get to the roots, and then you can decide where this behavior is from its roots and then kind of pivots from its roots. And sometimes that root looks like establishing that story, making your inner child feel a little bit more comfortable, or saying sorry to your inner child for what happened. Or sometimes this looks like just rewiring the story by saying, who taught me this? And rewiring the story with the beliefs that you have now. It's your second question, how to love your now, i.e. while your present situation, while you anticipate for the future. I actually really like this question because I feel like when we make goals and when we're into manifestation, we are so much looking for the future, but the manifestation buddies know that you have to appreciate your now. And I guess we'll talk about manifestation later, but let's talk more about appreciating where you are now in life. And the only way you can get there is by appreciating where you are now. You need to have gratitude for your now situation and realize that what you're living in now is what you prayed for like a couple weeks ago, a couple years ago, a couple months ago. And you need to take that time to actually soak in and be grateful for what you prayed for or for what you asked for to come into actual fruition. There is so much power of living in the moment. And we actually don't live in the moment day to day. Literally, let me take this to a smaller scale of not just living in the moments of your present, but living in the present moment, i.e. you go to school or you go to work and you ride the metro. We're always having our earphones in, we're always having something in, blocking the outside world. We're not actually paying attention to what's going on around us. And so when we take that time to be present for the small things, our friends talking to us, let's take out our earphones. We're walking on the metro, let's take out our earphones, let's listen to the birds, let's listen to people's conversations, let's get nosy. I'm always all of people's businesses on the metro. I hate to say it, but anyways, being present starts from the small things, from you being there every single day, showing up for yourself and listening to your body. That's also you being present in the moment, but also just you acknowledging that you are living one of your dreams, and no, you're not being complacent by being thankful for where you are. You are simply appreciating the present moment, because there's nothing like the present. You will not be able to appreciate the future that you want so much. You're not going to be able to appreciate it if you don't appreciate your now. As humans, we are so goal-oriented. We always want forward, what's next? But if you continue to say what's next, when you get to what's next, you're gonna ask what's next. So even if you want that six-figure salary and you get to that six-figure salary, you're going to be like, I want 7. As humans, it's just in our nature to want more. So we have to take that step and take that intentional work to be like, I want to be grateful for where I am. I want to still get all in. So for me, I'll tell you something I'm struggling with or something I'm coming to better terms with. I would love to grow my channel. I would love to grow my channel, my YouTube page, my Instagram, my TikTok, but I'm enjoying the process because there's nothing like the now. There's nothing like starting off small and starting off with the community you have now, because I can have those one-on-one interactions with basically everybody in my comments and it feels so good. And you get to have those personalized ties with people, build that community from now. There's so much beauty in the now, so much beauty in the work that you can do right now, that I want us to stop being in a rush to get something. You are going to get there. If you want that thing and you believe you can get it, you'll be there. I promise you, you are going to get there. So knowing that you're going to get there, I need you to enjoy every single step that you're taking from now, and that's so important. But if you don't think you're going to get there, you're going to be in a rush to want to get to where you're not going to get, and you're not going to enjoy the now. So I need you to know that you will get where you want to. So because you have that unwavering knowledge, even though it might waver sometimes, but because you are growing and learning that you have that unwavering knowledge that you're going to get to where you want to get, I need you to enjoy now, because there's going to be more than now soon. Soon it's going to come. So I need you to enjoy every single moment from now. Okay, the fear of letting other people love you due to low self-worth and the fear of getting hurt. So I guess how to let the fear of letting other people love you due to low self-worth and the fear of getting hurt, how to get over it or how to work through it. Ooh. Low self-worth. There's low self-worth and then there's getting hurt. Let's start with getting hurt. For getting hurt, I want to tell you low risk, low reward. And I know this might sound naive or this might sound painful. I'm going to tell you that as humans, low risk or low reward. So if we want to feel all the good things, and for me, I've realized I've got like a really high, like my highs are high and my lows are low, especially when it comes to loving somebody. And if I really want to feel everything and be deep in there, I'm going to be deep in there happy and I'm going to be deep in there sad. And so realizing that we can't really fight past the pain. I don't want to say that, but this channel, like life is not all love and light. For us to be here, for us to show up high vibrationally, for us to experience life, we've got to experience everything. And it's when we start to resist experiencing emotions and experiencing the world around us that we begin to have different things come up that just aren't healthy for us. So it is a healthy thing to feel that hurt. It is a healthy thing to work through those emotions. And so getting hurt is part of the process. Low risk, low reward. But it's telling yourself that you are not alone, that you have that support system, that you had an amazing time while you were in it, and you know that you enjoyed yourself, you experienced while you were in it. And that's a beautiful thing, to experience life and to experience people and experience love. That's what I'm going to say for that. I know it will be a very painful process if you do end up splitting, or if something happens, or as humans, something, but it's going to be beautiful while it happens. I hope that comforts you in some way, shape, or form. Okay, the fear of letting other people love you due to low self-worth. How do you work through that? Ooh, it sounds like some journal work and some shadow work. I would say sit down and ask yourself where this low self-worth is coming from. What are the stories you've been told in your past that are making you feel as though you're not worthy of love, or you're not worthy of everything good this life has to give you? Because one thing I've learned is even if somebody else can see your worth, if you don't see it, it means absolutely nothing. They can see your worth, and maybe in the future when you start to begin this journey of seeing your worth, you'll realize they saw my worth all along and you'll be able to appreciate it. But you can never accept from people what you don't accept from yourself. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand just yet, is they don't love themselves, and they feel that if they get somebody else to love them, that will be enough incentive for them to start loving themselves. But you never gave yourself permission to love yourself in the first place. So the only way to accept from other people is for you to give that thing to yourself unconditionally. And so I really want us to start learning how to love ourselves And doing that shadow work is to figure out what I don't love about myself, because yes, that other person, they may want to love you so hard, but you're not going to be able to accept that fully until you learn how to love yourself, because everything starts from within. It starts from you. So essentially, I would say to help work through the fear of letting other people love you due to low self-worth is really do the shadow work. Find out what's causing this low self-worth. Start to go on new experiences and giving your brain more things to show yourself ways that you are worthy. That will help you kind of rewire that belief in your head. And because it's only when you think that you're worthy that you'll be able to accept it, because people will come into your life. And I really want to say, let them in. Let them into your life. Let them into your life. And it's great for people to work on things together, but essentially you would be the one doing most of the work, because you have to leave that for yourself. They will be able to say something, but you have to do that work for yourself and believe it truly for yourself. So it's going to be a lot of work for you, but definitely let them into your life. And that may take a little bit, but continue to work on yourself. This is a continuous process, and like I said, healing is not linear. And so sometimes you may feel like you're not worthy. Some days you may feel like you're very worthy. I just want you to know to keep going, that you're doing amazing, and that you have the tools in your toolbox to get forward. I'm reading How We Heal right now by Alex L. And that book has all the tools that you need. It's absolutely amazing. I would highly recommend it. And you can keep going back to those tools if you ever feel recalibrated. But it is okay to start again and again and again. Okay. The last of the questions. Should people get in a relationship during their healing journey? Personally, I have never been in a relationship, so I don't feel like I am able to speak about relationships. But what I will say from my world point of view, I would say it depends where you are in your healing journey. I see so many things online, and the things I'm seeing online, they're saying that you don't have to be healed. Firstly, there's no such thing as fully healed. We are humans. We are always experiencing things, and you will not know if something triggers you or if something is not healed or something that you need to work on until you are being triggered. And sometimes you won't be in a situation for years. All of a sudden, out of the boondocks, the situation will come and trigger you. So we are never fully healed. That's just a thing. So it just depends where you are on your healing journey. I know when I was seeing someone earlier last year, I was not healed enough to be there. I was not healed enough to accept what they were telling me, and they didn't understand. I was great at putting up a front. And I guess they thought I was like kind of healed. But anyways, that's not the moral of the story. The moral of the story is, I think with healing, there comes different layers. And if you're not able to accept things from people, there's a lot of work you have to do on your own. There's a lot of work I do feel like you have to do on your own to be able to accept what you want into your life. Also, sometimes as people are healing, they feel like they might need to heal and do some work on their own. And so they may intentionally self-sabotage the relationship or whoever they're with or whatever they're doing so they can stay out of it, because their body thinks that they cannot handle being in a relationship and healing at the same time. Or they may decide that they won't see that time away from healing. So they, on their own, with that thought, without saying it out loud, will self-sabotage. I'm just saying what happens. Like, sometimes we don't like to acknowledge things, and our body will acknowledge it for us and will act accordingly. And we'll be like, what happened? Meanwhile, we may not know what happened, but our body knows exactly what happened. So I'm gonna just leave that there. Yeah, that's maybe a better question to ask somebody else, but I really just do feel it depends on where you are in your healing journey. I am all for people being in relationships and healthy relationships, because you heal in relationships too. There is healing that happens in relationships, a lot of healing. But I would say if there are things that you feel like you need to work through on your own, take the time, and that person, your person, will be there when you come out, if that's truly your person. So take your time and listen. Your intuition is in you, and you know if you're supposed to be in that relationship or not. Okay, so definitely listen to your body. So we're going to talk about some practices. I've been picking up a lot of practices over the past couple months. If you know, I'm on my TikTok and I've been talking about self-love and my self-love challenge. So for the whole month of February, we have been doing every single day something that is self-love for us. And I started this because I felt like I hear so much from the Black girl luxury community, and I absolutely love it. I adore them, they're amazing. And I do find myself in it as well because I am Black girl luxury, period. And I do feel as though when we talk about luxury, we look for things outside of ourselves. So we look for the spa, we look for getting our nails done, we look for just things outside of ourselves. But there is no self-love. You can do all these things on the outside, but if you're not feeling that love from the inside, then you're not actually truly feeling the love. And that's what I used to do. I thought that I could get my nails done and I can go out and get a massage and I'll feel all this self-love. But if I didn't show up within myself and I wasn't doing those intentional practices within me to foster that beautiful self-love relationship, there was no self-love. So you can do a million things on the outside, but if you're not working on the inside, there's really nothing. So I started this challenge for myself, and I share with others basically things that you can do to love yourself. And this is self-love without spending a dime, so without spending money, because the real self-love happens when you don't spend money. I'm not being salty. Okay, so yeah, so I bought some things. I've incorporated a couple new practices into my life for some self-love and some TLC. And they're actually also great for my body. The first one I did was the tongue scraping. Yeah, I started tongue scraping. It is an Ayurvedic practice, and it is great for your oral hygiene. It is great for getting that bacteria out of your mouth. It is also just really good for your body because you have that bacteria sitting there, and so it's really good to get it off you. The other practice that I've been doing is I have been lymph brushing. So I've been doing those lymph brushes. So you can get like the dry brush and you use the brush and you go towards your heart, and this helps with your circulations. It helps with your lymph nodes. It is a beautiful practice as well. You feel so good when you're done, and you can do this about 2 or 3 times a week. And that has been some ways I've been showing myself some extra love, some TLC, some love in my body that I am inside. Also, I've been reading a little bit more and doing a little more journaling. I am now reading How We Heal, as I said earlier, by Alex L. And she has a lot of meditations and a lot of journaling prompts. So I've been actually doing the journaling prompts. Y'all know how you buy those books and you read them and you don't do the journaling prompts they actually do with the chapters? Yeah, they're there for a reason, so go do them. Yeah, I have been reading and I've been pausing to do my journaling prompts, and I won't go to the next chapter without doing the journaling prompts. So that has been very helpful, and it has actually been very freeing. A very vulnerable process, and I feel like I could even get more vulnerable. I feel like I'm still holding back a little bit, but baby steps, and we're going to get there. The thing I wanted to talk about this whole episode, and what I was going to do this whole episode, was talk about All About Love. The girlies are obsessed with All About Love by Bell Hooks, and they have a rightful need to be, because this book smacks the boots hands down. Smacks the house boots down. This book is so good. I love it. I read it last year. Period, baby, on my reading spree, yes. It was so good. I took a bunch of notes. I've always taken notes somewhere because I read so many books and I want to remember when I'm done reading the book. So let's talk about a couple things in the book that I really enjoyed and that I really want to speak more about because I want to hear what y'all think. I freaking love this book. Every fiber of me loves this book so much. It gave me a different perspective on love. I really didn't know what to think about love. Sometimes I didn't know what to think about a lot of things, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm listening. Yeah, tell me more. And this book taught me a lot, and I really, really like it. So let's talk about some things I heard and I really want to talk to y'all about. And let me know what y'all think about these quotes in the comments, because I really want to chit chat about them. I chit chatted about them with my mom. I went through every single one of this long list with my mom. I'm not going to do everything with y'all, but we'll talk about a little bit. She says, to know genuine love, we have to invest time and commitment. That's beautiful. I feel like we, especially in our day and age, we want to rush things so bad. And sometimes I feel the same way. I just want to rush things. Like, did y'all see that tweet that if we start now, we'll be deeply in love by the 14th? We are such in a big rush to rush things because it's so nice to be like, we are just deeply in love and love. But to know genuine love, it takes commitment and time. Like, it really does take that time to really get to know someone. She says the world of domination is always a world without love. And she also talks about how two people are in a relationship, and when there's a struggle for power, there is no love, or love is amiss. And so That's just to say when there's a dynamic and somebody's struggling to be at the top of this dynamic, or the better than or the power dynamic, that there really isn't love. There's somebody who wants to dominate another person. And I'm not talking in like a sexual way. I'm just talking about like in a true loving sort of way. So when we value the delaying of gratification and take responsibility for our actions, we simplify our emotional universe. Living simply makes loving simple. It also enhances our capacity to love. I love this thing of living simply. I'm in love with this theme of living simply. I feel as though over the past couple of years, it's always me and over these past couple of years, me and that phrase, but literally over the past couple of years, we have been trying to incorporate so many things to make life so much more difficult, or to make it seem like you need to have this and you need to have that and this and that and this and that. But it takes away your capacity to love, and by simplifying things and making things easier on the both of us, there's so much more love when it's just simple. There's not as many factors involved, especially materialistic factors, I feel though. Ooh. Instead of running away from our loneliness and trying to forget or deny it, we have to protect it and turn it into fruitful solitude. Loneliness is painful. Solitude is peaceful. Oh, this resonates so hard. And I know this resonates with a lot of people. We are always trying to run away from something, very much something, especially our solitude, especially our loneliness. When we have time on our own, and I used to do this all the time, I would jam pack my schedule full of things. So I never had to sit with my emotions. So I never actually had to sit with my emotions till like last year when I left my nursing job. And then I started having to work through shit. But anyways, I digress. There's so much power in sitting down and feeling the things that you go through and spending that time with yourself. Because at the end of the day, when everybody's gone, you're going to be here with you. You're going to be here with you, your feelings, you're going to be here with the way you do things. And it's so important to develop that love and know that you can be here on your own, or know that you can hold your own. It's so important to love your own company and not continue to run to something because you're running away from something within yourself. This is a big one. This is for my moms and for the kids too. When anyone thinks a woman who serves because that's what mothers or real women do, they deny her full humanity, and they do fail to see the generosity inherent in her acts. We feel as though because somebody has a title woman or mom or female or lover or just like more of the feminine energy, that their role is to serve, which it is. Like as humans, we do love to serve, but when we think the role is to serve and that their serving is an obligation, and we forget that they are humans and they don't have to do it if they don't want to, we strip a lot of them. We say because they should, that's their role, they're supposed to. Nobody's supposed to do anything. They do it because they want to, because they care, because they love. And so actually acknowledging the fact that they're doing it because they want to and because they truly care is so important. I feel like we take our moms and divine feminine energy and just that energy in our life for granted so many times because we feel like those people have to, but they really don't. They really don't, especially not towards you. So, ooh, she also says that giving is healing to the spirit. I've been hearing giving is healing to the spirit, and I've been hearing that in so many different forms. I've read Jay Shetty's book, How Think Like a Monk, and he speaks about how at the end of the day, we will always come back to service because the only way we feel truly fulfilled is in some way, shape, or form of service. And how in the end, when we get the money and everything, we realize that we're not fulfilled until we actually do something of service. And I feel the same way. I worked as a nurse, like I told y'all, I've been telling y'all. I never really felt fulfilled, but when I look back, maybe I felt a little bit fulfilled through serving others. That's what I miss. I miss serving others. I don't miss feeling burnt out. I don't miss not giving myself what I need. I don't miss self-abandonment. I abandoned myself. And if I was to be in that situation, which I really don't want to go back to nursing, that's not for me, but if I was to tackle that again in some way, shape, or form, I would give myself what I needed and then show up for others, because I did love serving. And I do feel like I'm on this earth to serve, just like all of us are, but I do know that I am a healer in some way, shape, or form. I have 3 more that I want to do really, really quick. First one, when we love, we no longer allow our hearts to be held captive by fear. I feel this on an exponential level. And when I read this book, I remember really thinking about this one, because I feel as though fear really takes us in some way, shape, or form. And it may stop us from truly loving people. We may want to show our love for people, show our affection, but sometimes fear gets in the way and we're scared. And it may be because we're scared of for so many reasons. It can be the smallest things, but we really had to step out of our comfort zone because love exists when we step out of that comfort zone. So that's really big. Okay, second, we cannot know love if we remain unable to surrender our attachment to power, if any feeling of vulnerability strikes terror in our hearts. Vulnerability is really, really big. Love is, I want to say love is a bed of roses, but it's really not. It can be a bed of roses, but there are things that you do go through.
Hi, this is Onosa Editing that's now chipping in, and I'm listening to myself talk about love being a bed of roses, and I'm realizing that love is a bed of roses because roses have the thorns and then they have the beauty. And love is the thorns and beauty because you work through things. It's multiple things. I think when I was writing down or when I was talking about, so I was thinking of a bed of roses of just like roses without thorns, but roses do have thorns. And when it comes out, it's beauty at the top. So a good note.
And vulnerability, learning to be vulnerable and being okay with being vulnerable, having that courage to be bold, show up every single day, be vulnerable and show up with love. That's what she's saying with love and courage and fear. We walk through that fear. And what's the quote of being brave? That you may be afraid, but you do it afraid, and that's being brave. That's being courageous. You do it being afraid. And that's such a beautiful thing, to be able to show up every single day doing what you love, because you love people and you love the world and you love life that you live. But even though you are afraid and it may be scary to you, you show up afraid, and that's just a beautiful thing, even though it's very challenging. Okay, the last one is, when you commit to uncovering your true feelings, you commit to reclaiming your power and standing boldly in your truth. I'm gonna have to talk about it during another episode, because there's a lot to unpack in that statement. A lot of us are hiding, and sometimes I hide things as well. But when we truly begin to sit down and uncover our true feelings, because there's a lot to unpack with that, we reclaim our power. I feel like power is always being stripped in some way, shape, or form. And I really want to go in depth with this, but I don't know if today's the day. So maybe I'll come back for the next episode and we may do a deeper dive into some of these things, because they really make me feel some sort of way. Okay, y'all, my camera's about to die. I love you. I can't wait to see y'all. Talk to you later. Bye. Have fun. This has been a great episode. I can't wait to talk a little bit more about love, and I'm so excited for what's in store for February.